What's up, HEMI people? Replacing spark plugs on the 5.7 2015 5.7 HEMI, and I have a different application here. I'm installing same size spark plug, but these are 6619s NGK. They're a step colder for the application I have, and it's very simple. Once you remove your intake, which is a couple bolts and a couple clamps, and I wasn't going to explain that because it's pretty simple. If you're a first timer at this, you know, you probably shouldn't do it. If you're mechanically inclined, this is the perfect job for you. That means you have your own tools. A lot of dealerships are charging anywhere from $550 up to $800 to do these spark plugs, and if you can do it yourself, it's maybe an hour, a couple hours to get it done. But these screws that are on the coil packs, there's 10mm screws, bolts I should say. You take those out, and you don't really have to disconnect anything. You just lift it up very carefully. Don't go pulling any wires, and just rotate it, set it aside. Now I already removed these bolts, double coils, just put them aside. Of course they don't want to stay now. Get out of the way. And sometimes you get harnesses in the way. This is a harness going to the ECU. So you don't want to go, wrenching anything. Just pick it up, do a little push, and just pull it out nice and easy. These are rubber, so they do bend a little bit. You don't want to go too crazy, just bend them a little bit. Rotate it nice and easy and rest it. Sometimes you gotta stick them in here so they stay. All right, now the back one, I got the front bolt out right there. As you can see, I have a bolt in the back I haven't got yet. Now you might think it's impossible to get. Here's your heater hoses. There goes the flashlight. Yeah, your heater core, but there's a bolt right there. And all you do, just adjust. Take off your extension. Get your 10mm on. And just sneak it in there. Where is it? There it is. See if I can focus there. Oh, this phone. Gotta love iPhones. Here we go. I'm doing this with one hand too, but sneak it in there. I have just a 3/8 ratchet with the 10mm socket. I'm on the head. There you go. Put the camera down because I needed it in my right hand and my other hand at the same time to get that bolt out. Just move these heater core hoses back a little bit. Once you get it loose, sometimes you can take the socket off the ratchet, you know what I mean, and put it on. Once the bolt's loose, put it on and manually do it by hand because they loosen up pretty easy, and once they're loose they come out pretty easy. I got big Portuguese mitts. Look at the size of these things. They're huge. I can still get it. A lot of mechanics got, midget Connie hands. I got mitts. I'm still doing this. So, like I said, if you're mechanically inclined, you can do anything. Now you're gonna laugh at this. Well, this is the right bank. So 8642. Cylinder 2. All right. I have a 6-inch extension. Right. And I got this alternator in the way and it won't fit. Okay, it's a 5/8 socket, 5/8 socket, thin wall socket, and it won't fit. So what did I do? You're gonna laugh at this, but hey, look at this. I got a 3/8 to 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch to 3/8, 3/8 to 1/2 inch, back and forth, back to the 5/8 socket, whatever it takes to get that bolt in. And look at that. It fits right in, right? I know it's goofy looking, but I got tons of them. Whatever it takes to get that spark plug out. You know what I mean? There you go. It's broken. Broken loose. Not broken, broken loose. Alright. I take that off. Now, some sockets come with like a rubber guide inside to hold on to the plug. Others come with magnets. I have an old school Craftsman one from way back in the day. So I loosen the spark plug as, you know, I know when it's loose. So what I'm gonna do is, there it is, it's loose. So I'm gonna pull this out. I don't have a cushion or a magnet, okay? So what I do is I grab my trusty magnet, right? I take the magnet tip, stick it in the hole, right? Tap it, and then pull it out. See? Usually it comes out at the tip, but I decided to grab the hex of it. But yep, now that it's out, I got unfortunately these engines have 2 per cylinder, so I got 7 more to go, and that's as simple as that. The next one actually. Let me see. I might have to use this contraption again. Let me see. Yeah. I'll be using the same setup I have. Just a bunch of connections added to the socket. And eventually, when I have room, I can use my 6-inch extension, and then my 10-inch, 6-inch, 6-inch, and then the same thing. I'll be using this for these last 2 holes in cylinder 8, because it's kind of tight, you know. Then I'll do the other side. Okay, I have all the spark plugs removed. It's been about, I don't know, under 10 minutes to remove cylinder 2, 4, and 6. I have the front one of cylinder 8 out. I have the last one to go. So what I'm gonna do, I don't have good lighting here, so I have this little light I got from Nebo. This thing's pretty cool. It rotates, and there's different adjustments, and it's magnetic, so it sits nice. So I got my contraption, whatever you're using, 6-inch extension for +2, plus whatever you got. All right, you can disconnect the heater core hoses right there and pull them forward. And once you pull them forward, you get some room to drop your 5/8 socket with contraptions in. So that's in, right? I pulled them forward, unlocked it from the plastic clip. Now I have all the room in the world. And yes, you gotta lose some knuckles when you're wrenching. It happens. You're over here wrenching, and it breaks loose, and you hit anything. It happens. You know, it's part of the game. You know, if you want to wear gloves, go ahead and wear gloves. I do what I do. But I'll get the ratchet wherever the heck I put it. Yeah. It's always good. Always pick a place to put all your bolts up, and the coil bolts. You don't want them falling down in crevices and getting stuck in fenders. And this is a nightmare down here. You ever drop anything down here, you're not gonna get it back unless you get your magnet. But it's tough. There's a nut down there somewhere I lost before. But so I'm gonna get this little 3/8 ratchet on there. This has a push button because I have old school tools. Boink. All right, here we go. And again, you're gonna break it loose. Because there's no room back there, you're gonna wrench it and you're gonna hit your knuckles off things. It happens. There you go. That was a clean break. All right. This is cylinder 8, the one towards the firewall. I take the ratchet off. Leave the extensions in. And what I'm gonna do, as soon as I focus, is just manually turn my extensions to get the spark plug loose. And I have a 6-inch lift truck. I'm sitting on a 5-gallon bucket right now. I'm on a slab. I'll show you in a second. All right, so it's loose now. I pull that out, extension. Oh, I gotta pull these hoses forward. Then pull it out. All right, plenty of clearance, right? I pull that out, get the magnet, closes forward. Stick the magnet in. See the spark plug? Again, I'm doing this with one hand. I'll be surprised this thing comes out. There it is. There it is. Now again, I have a 6-inch left truck. A lot of times guys like to deflate their tires. I got 35-inch tires and 20-inch rims. You can deflate the tires again another 4 inches. I'm on a slab and I'm on a bucket. We're keeping it old school today. All right, so all the plugs are clear on the left side of the engine, right bank. I'm gonna go ahead and install these spark plugs. So I'm grabbing a spark plug. These are the new ones. These are the old ones. These spark plugs have compression rings, compression washers. You don't want to crank it too much in an aluminum head, because if you do, you're gonna be doing head work if you're too tight. They won't come out. Aluminum likes to expand and contract, and aluminum also likes to corrode. So these rings are designed to compress a little bit, and you give it about an 1/8 turn, you know, tight, not too tight, but tight. So it's sealed, it seats and seals. Now what I like to do, because I don't have a socket with a cushion to grab the spark plug or a magnet, so I already did the first one, so I'm gonna do the second one. Use the magnet, I put it in, grab the tip of my finger, let go of the magnet, drop it down, and boom, it's right there. You don't want it falling 6 inches, because if it hits the tab on the spark plug, it can change a gap. So you want to place it and not drop it in. And I grab my wonderful array of extensions and my 3/8 socket. I place this in by hand, nice and easy. Once you grab the spark plug, I like to do it manually. You don't want to go wrenching it with a wrench, because you'll cross thread. So you do it manually. And once you feel it's, you know, it's snug, pull, then put your wrench on, your ratchet, I should say, and you turn. It's gonna feel a little snug, because that's the compression ring seating. And once you feel it stop, the snugness will stop, it'll start getting tight. And what I like to do, once it's snug and tight, give it a little 1/8 inch oomph so it seats, and that's it. You don't gotta go crazy with these things. You don't go crazy at all. You don't want that thing stuck in there. You want to be able to take them out next time, next 30,000 miles or 60,000 miles or 100,000 miles. Some people like to let these things go, but that's what I do. It sits nice, the compression ring is snug and tight, and on to the next one. Spark plugs are finally installed on the left side. Again, the toughest part is dealing with these and this harness. You know, don't go cranking it too much. Lift it up a little bit to put them back in. You just simply turn these around. The coil pack with extensions. Again, they bend a little bit. You don't want to go too crazy, but right in the hole. And just push them in so they stop. Some engines, they click, but these ones, you can only go so far because of the bolt mounts. So stick them in. Put the bolts back on. These are 10mm bolts. Again, when you crank these two, I think these valve covers are plastic. They do have brass cams to catch the threads of the bolts, but you don't want to crank them too tight, just snug. Once they seat, just give a little crank and that's it. Don't go over tighten them because they will strip. Brass is a very soft metal. this thing's like, you know, lift some harness up just a little bit. Get some room in there to put that bolt in. Then grab your ratchet, 10mm ratchet, and make them nice and snug. You want to make sure you reconnect anything that you disconnected. For example, this heater core hose plastic clip. I rotate it back up and get the hoses back in there because it's there for a reason. I got headers. You don't want any hose sagging and hitting your headers or even your exhaust manifold, because all it does is cause problems. Check all your connections. If you disconnected anything, make sure they're connected back. And that's that side. Just recheck everything. Any hoses you disconnected, put them back. Triple check. It's always good to double check and triple check your work. Just, you don't want any problems on the highway going 110, all of a sudden you're blowing something. You don't need that. Know what I mean? Alright, next side. Okay, I got all the bolts on the right side taken out. On the the front cylinder, you got the first two bolts you can use a 6 inch extension, 6-inch extension. You drop down to a 4, and you're basically freeballing with just a 10mm ratchet onto the socket onto the ratchet, and it's just freeballing from there. I have all the bolts out. I'm going to take out this. There's a fuel line here. This phone will stay still. There's a fuel line right here. It does flex a little bit. Don't go cranking it, but it does flex a little bit. You lift your coil up to there. And you can unplug them, but I leave them in. There's plenty of room. You want to clear the wires here. You want to take the easiest route, okay? It's out, all right? I'm gonna leave it right there. Sneak it in there and leave it. Okay, there's my 2 holes for my spark plugs. And then the next one, same thing, pull out. You don't want to go pulling on the wires, just the coil itself. Nice and easy. They do bend a little bit. Rotate it back, it's out of the way. There's the other 2. Again, the back ones are tough. I'm on my knees right now actually. Up here in the engine bay, pulling these things out. Because the back bolts were tough. And the front ones, I got a boost line here. I also have, I'm gonna get it off the truck now. I also have the oil dipstick pipe in the way. So what I'm gonna do, I'm probably gonna go forward with this. Carefully move that along. You don't want to crimp that, and just sneak it up. Cleared that. If you gotta take that out, you can take it out. If you want to move it, move it. Just pull that back a little tiny bit, nice and easy. Like there's hoses and lines everywhere. Find the best fit. All right, I'm gonna leave it there because I'm clear. I can get to those 2 holes. Put that back in, and those 2 holes are clear. It'll be tough, but I can get the ratchet in there. So they're all clear. I'm gonna pull these out. Start the camera back up because I installed 1, 2, 3, and 4. So cylinder 1, 3, is done. I'm on 5 and 7 right now. Now the boost is in the way. And this is, you know, you laugh at me, but this is why I have this. Because you can break it down, right? Drop it in the hole. Oh no, it's gone. No, it's not. Take the other end of your connections, right? Stick them in there, right? They're locked in. This side is kind of strategic. The other side just a pain in the ass. This side is strategic. And you really gotta use your head. All right, connect the ratchet. That one was kind of loose, but it was still seated. Take it off. It's loose. The spark plug is loose. Manually turn the rest of the connections. I'm spinning it until the spark plug is loose. And it's a bunch of turns. You can really tell when it's really loose, and that's when you know you can take your contraption apart. All right, it's loose. You can hear the difference too. So what I'm gonna do is try to put this phone camera so you can see it. All right. So I'm loose, right? And it ain't gonna be able to come out. See? It won't. So I disconnect it right there. I might need 2 hands here. Yeah, whatever. I don't need 2 hands. So I'm gonna crawl back up on this truck. Gotta love Dodge. Oh yeah, baby. So I'm gonna pull this up. I'm gonna disconnect it right here. So I'm gonna take 2 hands and this. There we go. Okay, I disconnected it. Okay. Now you might say to yourself, oh, it's in there forever. No, you grab a magnet. You grab a magnet. You reach back there. And you... Oop, wrong one. This one. Yeah. And you pull it out. Well, I have to grab it with a finger because I'm trying to hold a camera at one point. Okay, there we go. There you go. It's out. Now, how do I get the spark plug out? Because I don't have a cushion ratchet. I'm gonna use my magnet. There you go. It's like surgery. And that's how you do these last 4. Then you're gonna have to dismantle your, like I said, I have a bunch of 1/2 to 3/8, 1/2 to 3/8 connections that make up a 6-inch, well actually a 4-inch extension to the 5/8 ratchet. And it comes in handy. It works every time. There's no problems. You gotta keep a magnet with you though. You definitely need a magnet. You need that magnet. All right, that's it. I got the coils back on. 10mm bolts holding the coils down. Again, the last 2 coils, those cylinders, 5 and 7 are tough. You gotta do a lot of strategic movements with your sockets to get those in. They're a pain. Definitely need a magnet. And that's it. She's all done. Spark plugs are finished. And that's it. Good luck. The good thing is, this shroud cover is nice and soft for your knees. I had a knee here and a knee here. Bent over the engine to get those last ones. It's tough, it ain't easy. If you're mechanically inclined, it can be done. Takes some time, a couple hours. That's it, man. Good luck.